You know, I've had quite a few people ask me, hey Jay, is the FZ07, MT-07, you know, is it a good beginner bike? I'm like, well, honestly, it depends. What is going on, everybody? It's Jay, welcome back. So, what I'm going to be talking about today is the question I get relatively frequently from, you know, sadly no one on YouTube yet, but you know, my friends, family, and stuff like that. Is the FZ07, MT-07 platform a good beginner bike? And for the most part, I always tell them the same thing, like, it depends. It really depends on the person, in my personal opinion. Now, I said before in the video where I went over my personal motorcycle history, and if you haven't checked that one out, you can click on that right here, pretty sure it's here. And I started on a Grom, you know, I started on something really small. And what is going on with my mirror? Tinker, tinker, tinker. Fix, fix, fix. Voila. And back on the road in 3, 2, boom. Okay, so trying to pick up where I left off. I started on a Grom, right? Really small bike, and I jumped straight to this for my own personal motorcycle, right? And that being said, I think this could be a really good beginner bike for someone, in my opinion, who is a little more mature. Now, this is not the fastest motorcycle in the world by any means. It's really not. But I'd be lying to you if I said that overall this motorcycle wasn't fast. You know, for someone who's a little like more immature, maybe like a really young rider, I personally think this motorcycle could get away from you, and that's just the truth. It is what it is. That's my opinion. So, do I think it could be a good beginner bike? Absolutely, just depending on who you are and how you treat it. Now, there's a few reasons that I say what I say, and that is, first thing, this ties into like some of my previous videos on the things I love and hate about it, is it's a pretty torquey motorcycle. You know, there's bigger things out there, obviously, there's always something bigger, but this is a relatively torquey motorcycle. Whenever I first got on it, you know, it took me a few days, about a week or so, to like really get used to and everything, but it's not like it's something that's completely unusable by any means. You know, it's a great motorcycle. The power is really easy to get used to. You just gotta, you know, get out there and ride it. One thing that I think could possibly mess some people up is the throttle on this bike. It's not the smoothest thing in the world. It's not like bad by any means, but you know, it does have like a little bit of a herky-jerky on-off kind of feel to it sometimes, and that's something that I think could mess up a new rider. Something that would be good for someone is the seat on this bike. It's really not that tall. I don't remember the seat height off the top of my head. I'll put it like right there. And for us shorter folks out there, you know, I'm only 5'8". I'm not the tallest person in the world. You know, it's really nice to be able to get on and be able to flat foot whenever you're on the bike. Now, me personally, I don't have motorcycle boots. I just wear cowboy boots. But, you know, if you have motorcycle boots on, which you should, or some kind of boot in general, it's really not that bad. You should be able to flat foot relatively easy. And being able to flat foot the bike like that does add a huge amount of confidence to your riding. You'll feel a whole lot better if you can actually flat foot the bike, because you just feel more comfortable on it, you know. Now, something I definitely think is a big pro for this bike when you start thinking about it as like a beginner bike and everything, is the fact that what I also call a con is it's not slow. You know, if you start on this, it's not like starting on a 300 or a 250 or something. You definitely have the ability to outgrow this, but it's not going to happen nearly as fast, if it happens at all. You could be happy with the power this bike puts down for a really long time, and you're not going to get tired of it. Plus, you know what I said before, you can do so many different things with this bike. It's really versatile, very, very versatile, honestly. And that's a good thing, you know, so if you're starting to outgrow it, you're getting kind of bored with it, boom, adventure bike. You know, don't like that, boom, cafe racer. Oh, don't feel like that, boom, track bike. There's so many different things you could do with this. It's crazy. But that's a good thing, and I feel like that ties into why it could also be a good beginner bike, because you can keep it for a lot longer. You're not going to outgrow it. It's really not going to get away from you. I said that stuff about the throttle, but honestly, after a few days, you're really gonna get used to it, and it's really not that bad. Now, for all of you hooligans out there, this is a great stunt bike. A lot of people use it, a lot of people run it, just because it's a good bike overall. So, like I said, you know, I've made a few points on why I think this is a good beginner bike. The power is good, the torque's good, it's comfortable, you know, it's upright, it's not heavy. It is a very lightweight bike. I believe it comes in around 403 pounds or something like that, wet and ready to ride. So it's a lightweight motorcycle, and that's a good thing. That's definitely something you want in a beginner bike. You know, if you're brand new to riding and you go hop on like a road glide or some big motorcycle, you know, those are hard to control. Not like power wise and everything by any means, but those motorcycles are really heavy, and until you get on one and actually ride it, I don't really know if I can explain what something like that feels like. So lightweight, good power, really comfortable. Handlebars, I think handlebars are just good on a beginner motorcycle. It gives you a little more control, especially in low speed maneuvers. So it's just kind of like everything tying in together, you know what I mean? I think it's a good beginner bike. You just got to be a little responsible about it, because like I said, at the same time, it could also not be a good beginner bike, and it could get away from you if you're not careful. You know, if you're a really new rider, you're just overly cautious or something like that, but you like the idea of the FZ07, but you're just like, oh, I don't know, it just feels a little strong to me. You know, there's always the option for the MT-03 also, and that's a really cool way to go about it too, because if you go with the MT-03, you know, you use it for 6 months to a year or something like that, you're like, all right, I'm ready to go up, and boom, you know, you already got the big brother to it right here. You're used to the ergonomics, you're used to how it drives, everything like that. So it's a relatively easy transition right there, you know. If you're really feeling weird, you know, you could bump up to the MT-09. That's a pretty big jump, you never know, but there's people out there that do it. Now with the MT-09, I will highly recommend you do not start on that one. That is a powerful motorcycle. Definitely a second bike kind of thing. Is it doable? Yes, anything's doable. But just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. So let's just go ahead and get that part out of the way right there. But, you know, like I said, guys, overall, I think it's a good beginner bike. Just be careful. But you have to be careful with any bike you get onto, you know. Motorcycles are fast. I don't care how big it is. Any bike you get on is going to go pretty fast. I mean, even a Grom. It doesn't go as fast, not nearly as fast, but you can get pretty quick on a Grom. I did 70 on mine. You know, crashing on a Grom at 50-60 miles an hour is no different from crashing on something like this at 50-60 miles an hour. So definitely be careful with everything you do. And alright guys, before we wrap it up, we got the question of the day. What did you start on? Did you like it? Did you not like it? If so, why? Why not? Let me know down in the comments. I'm curious. How has y'all's motorcycling journey progressed? Would you recommend the bike you started on to someone else? You know, let me know down in the comments. You know, maybe we can, maybe someone new out there looking at something, maybe see one of the comments, may spark their imagination to get something else. You never know what could happen. That is gonna wrap everything up for today, guys. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop a like. I got some pretty big plans right now, guys. Really exciting videos that I want to do. So if you want to follow along with that, go ahead and subscribe. Ring that notification bell so when you know whenever I upload a new video. But other than that, guys, I will catch y'all in the next one. Ride safe. Peace.
Sitting though we walked across the